Today for this car yap, I wanted to talk about something that I was actually thinking about when I was getting into the car and setting up the camera or whatever. I just had a family lunch, and my aunt came over with her kids and everyone and three dogs, and the lunch made me feel like I was in a Hispanic household. Okay, now if you don't know what that means, then you're lucky. But basically, very chaotic. Lots of noise, lots of kids running around, lots of dogs barking all of the time. Not a fun experience. I left the lunch feeling full, stressed that I was gonna actually get 30 minutes late to the gym, which means I'm gonna have to rush this video a little more. There's a bunch of stuff going on, and my mood wasn't the best. However, when I got into the car, my mood immediately changed because I'm gonna record a gym vlog. I have the opportunity to go to the gym now and record. That's so fun. I became happy all of a sudden. Now, this got me thinking, why was I upset in the first place? Right? Yes, it was noisy. Yes, it was annoying. I probably could have done some work in that morning instead of being at that family lunch. I was doing this opportunity cost calculation in my mind. I was weighing the two experiences I could be having if the environment was different and saying, well, this experience would have been better, so I'm pissed off that I'm having this experience right now. My immediate reaction to that is kind of like taking like a more stoic approach to it, I guess, which is saying, if this experience is outside of my control, if I can't control my current environment, why am I letting it affect me negatively? If my whole goal in life is to live a maximized experience, is to live an experience with as much fulfillment as possible, which it is, why am I going to make myself less fulfilled? I'm in this environment which I can't control. Why am I not going to use this environment to push me forward, to make me happier? That's the first knee-jerk instant reaction that I have to my thought process in that situation. But my second reaction, which I think matters a little bit more and is a little less intuitive, well, it's based on a rule I have, which is perspective shifts shift reality. Now, I don't know if I'd call that a rule, but let's call it a heuristic that I have to leading a more fulfilled life. Perspective shifts shift reality. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, you will have to skip to the end of the video to find out, because we are at the gym, baby! It is time to lift some weights! Lucky us, we got to start with the bench today, which is really, really, really great. I'm gonna do my warm-up super fast, and yeah, then we get to lift some weight. I don't know why we're warming up with the bar. This is like super easy. Okay, actually we're not gonna do this, but as you can tell, my form is a little different this time. So last time I benched like this, right? Super flat, super straight. Oh shit. But this time I've decided to change the form up a bit and add some more arch to the bench. I don't know if this is a lot of arch. I don't even think you can fit a foam roller under me. No, you can fit like my hand. But I don't know. I heard the arch was important. I didn't used to do it because when I do my rep, my one arm, what the fuck? This is definitely not a warm up. This is like too light. When I do my reps, I like my back to be straight because I feel like I get a little bit of rib compression when I do this. Basically, I'm not aligned with the fibers that I want to be hitting. So I want to be hitting closer to the sternocostal head. Sorry, what? Closer to the clavicular head, but I want to hit like the top of the sternocostal fibers. Like if you look at my chest, like this region instead of this region, which I think is what the bench when I arch my back a little more. But honestly, it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to get my bench up, and if this means that my numbers can go up, then I'm gonna keep hitting it this way. Whatever. Let's throw some weight on this bench. I don't know why we're doing this so light. I did check, by the way. The Smith is in fact 20 kgs. So for all of you Smith doubters. Oh, and since I'm trying to get my bench up, I've been thinking about doing variations of the bench, which I think help with strength gains. So for example, I was plateauing a lot on normal bench, and my solution to that plateau was to switch to another exercise, where now in retrospect, I think, bro, I look fat as fuck when I do this. I think instead of doing that, what I can do is I can switch to a pause bench, or pause rep. So I think that's what I'm gonna try to do today. So we're just gonna hit this, not paused, or I guess we can pause the warm-up too. This feels really light for warm-up still. I don't know if today we're just extra strong in this movement, but we'll see. Oh, another thing is sometimes when I see people bench, I see their elbows go out way, like a lot. I still don't know if I like that idea. Wait, let's just jam press this weight up. I don't know if I like that idea because I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't know what I'm scared of actually. I think I'm used to doing it the other way. But let's throw some more weight on this bench, because even these 10 kgs feel light. Another thing I've been noticing when I'm editing these gym vlogs is I'm waffling a lot. Like, in these gym vlogs, I talk about a lot of different things at the same time. And I don't know if that helps with growth or that harms it. Because at the end of the day, let me make something clear, okay? I'm not in this for the money, okay? I don't give a fuck about the money, and I'm probably never gonna do this for a living. I already have lined up for me work-wise, career-wise, so I'm completely not stressed about the money. The sole point of this channel, there's 2 points, so there's 2 purposes to this channel, okay, if we're gonna be real. One of the purposes of this channel is to have fun, okay? I like going to the gym, I like lifting, that's fun, and I like sharing fun with other people. That's essentially the purpose of this. That's the first purpose. The second purpose is I want to make other people's lives better. I genuinely have a commitment to that. I don't say that to appear more charitable. I don't say that to appear like a better person. Okay, I do not give a fuck about that. And this is purely self-interested. We may talk about this in a later video, but I want to live in a society where people are happy. I want to live in a society where I don't see people in mass doom scrolling and wasting away their hours, okay? I'd rather those people spend those hours creating art that I can consume, creating cures for cancer, developing science, okay? Making new phones that make us doom scroll less and go to the gym and film more. I care about improving the state of society. I write articles, by the way. Actually, I just got published for the first time in a major Portuguese publication. That should all be in the description down below, so if you want to go read that. But I do write I write articles that are more society focused, so improving society. But here I want to improve individuals, because again, improving the life of individuals will contribute to the improvement of society generally, because society is made up by individuals, whatever. So going back to it, a major part of making these videos is having other people watch them. I am satisfying the having fun part by just recording and making these videos, and that's why I think I can be consistent in the long run with this. But I also do want to make other people's lives better. I do want to improve other people's lives, and to do that, other people have to watch my content. So if I do realize that I'm waffling a lot and stuff like that, I can just then break it up into separate videos, which I already do. My second channel, Paleo Lorenzo, hit the shit up. Or what I can do is focus on making shorter form content that is more highly edited, that will probably get better retention, more impressions, or just generally more views. And that's the content that I think I'm going to focus on making other people's lives better. So I received a message yesterday, someone who watched the video and really enjoyed it, but he said that I should focus on making the videos higher quality and less quantity. So I should focus more on quality instead of quantity. One thing is I'm probably going to be changing gyms. I'm probably going to be going to another gym called Mr. Big, which means I should be able to record more often, so I can even post these gym vlogs more often. But yeah, expect a change in videos, not in the gym vlogs, but a lot more of the good old videos. Because if you go to my channel right now, as I'm making this video, my most popular video is my ego video. And that's a video I enjoyed making. I enjoyed editing it, I enjoyed filming it, but it's a lot of work. And I can get more enjoyment from these gym vlogs than I can get from making those long form videos, but clearly people like those videos. People want to see those videos. So I think I can do both. I think I can not have my cake and eat it, but I think I can have 2 cakes at the same time, which is what I'm going to try to do. But let's just hit this bench before we run out of holy shit. I think we're going to try to hit a PR today. Let's load up this fuck. Okay, we have 90 kgs on the bar, which is quite a bit, and definitely a massive PR for me. I think last time I managed to hit 84 for 6, so I can't see us getting more than 4 reps on the 90, and even 4 reps would be really fun. But yeah, I'm really doubtful about this lift, actually. I don't know. We're gonna rest 2 more minutes, and then we're gonna see if I can throw up these 90s. If I can throw up this 90, it's gonna be very good. I think we're at 84 for 6, which gives us a 1 rep max estimate of, I think, 97. So I don't know what this is gonna. I don't know. I don't know. But I do wanna. My leg is tweaking. I don't know. I'm not usually really concerned about the strength aspect of lifting. Of course, that's how I measure my progressive overload, or that's how I measure whether I'm progressing, which I think is the best way to measure. But because if you're getting stronger, you necessarily have to be gaining more muscle, unless, okay, of course, you have the the neuromuscular adaptations, and you might just have some adaptations that aren't muscular, but let's be real, come on. If you're throwing up 10 or 20 more kgs on a lift, there's muscle there. But yeah, either way, I think it's time to lift. I'm gonna throw on some music, and let's see if we can get this for 4 reps. 90 kgs, man. I know this may not seem like a massive lift for a lot of you. Maybe that's just physique inflation. I don't know. But this is a pretty important lift for me, and I did not expect to hit this today, and this is probably not going to go very well, but let's think positively. Okay, let's think positively. Let's see. Come on. Oh. Holy. Okay. Okay, I got a little greedy there. I hit the 5 and I was like, fuck, I think I can do 6. Whoa. Whoa. Holy 90 for 5. I think that was 5. I think I counted 5 there. I started off that lift, and you can see I paused a little at the top there, because something I like doing with new PRs is I like just feeling the weight first in my arms, just to, get accustomed to it and to lift it better, hopefully, but I didn't do that this time. It's like, fuck it, let's just lift it. And I got 5. Holy shit. Oh my god. Dude, 90 for 5? Oh my god, dude. What is that? That's crazy. Okay, sorry. I got a little excited. Something you might notice, and probably you didn't notice it here because I did not do it here, but I've been changing my training philosophy a little bit. I've always seen the gym as a place to test myself mentally, to be able to reach new heights mentally, to push myself. But recently, I haven't really felt like the gym is somewhere that I'm pushing myself mentally. I think mentally, it's a lot harder to make videos consistently, to work, to be disciplined in that regard. And I think showing up to the gym and lifting heavy weights, I don't think I'm actually pushing myself mentally. It's something that I really enjoy doing. So I've kind of been going away from that. I'm listening to less hardstyle, because before, I don't know if you know, okay, but I was a big white girl hardstyle listener, okay? Just take a white girl song and add some hardstyle to it, and it's going right on my playlist. However, I've taken the hardstyle out of that equation. Now I listen to just white girl music. For example, I just hit that 90 for 5 listening to Gimme 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 by ABBA. So, and I've been enjoying it a lot more. In the next couple of exercises that you'll see me do, I'm gonna be pushing a lot less face-wise. I don't know if that makes sense, but like in this lift, you could tell I was going like, I was like tweaking, contorting my face. But in the next couple of lifts, you're gonna see that a lot less. I think bench is still one of those lifts that I'm trying to like keep that like strongman energy towards or whatever, because it is fun to just push and be like crazy sometimes. But after some anxiety stuff that I was dealing with at the gym, I made this little change on, I don't want to say being more stoic, but being like making less of those like cringe expressions, I guess, and that's helped me a lot. Control my sets more, standardize my form more, just train better generally. So I don't know. That's a big shift I've noticed, but yeah, we'll see how that treats me in the long run. I forgot to put the timer on, so I'm just gonna rest for a minute and a half more, and we'll do our next set. I'm gonna take the 5s off and put a 10 instead though. Another thing I really like about the Smith is when we failed that set. Oh my god, my phone. Since we failed that set, the bar's down here now, but what I can do is I can just deadlift it out, baby. There we go. Okay, whereas the normal bar, I think you'd have to take the weights off completely to run that back. Let me see if this is the correct height. Yeah, this is good. Okay. Let's rest a little more, and then we can do our next set. Oh my god. I don't know what's happening today. That was 8 reps, bro. What the f? That was 8 reps. That wasn't only a PR on 90. That was a PR 80. Did I really just take 10 kgs off that bench? Is that a good idea? I don't know. How many reps did I say that was? I forget. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna be able to track that. I guess I'll track that when I'm watching the video back. Let's get another 3 minutes to rest. And do our next set. Oh, that's something else I want to talk about. Okay, I don't know if I should just... Another thing that I'm changing now is I'm gonna do 3 reps or I was watching the video that I recorded the other day, and I saw me say sets instead of reps, and that triggered the fuck out of me when I was watching. Cause that's like the most beginner mistake to make, to confuse those two. I don't know. But I'm at the gym, man. Come on, cut me some slack, okay? We can't always be perfect. But yeah, 3 sets instead of 2 sets now. I'm making the switch. I'm making the switch to train 3 sets instead of 2 sets per each exercise, because instead of doing 4 to 6 sets total per week, I'm doing 6 to 9 sets per week. Now, I know that's a big uptick in volume, but from what I've seen, training between 6 to 10 sets per muscle group per week is the best thing to do. Training less probably doesn't give you adequate stimulus. You're probably not... Your brain's probably not signaling to your muscles to grow frequently enough because of the low volume. And anything higher, I feel like you're signaling too much and you're not giving your body time to actually build that muscle, which it does during rest. So I think 6 to 10 sets is the sweet spot, but I don't know. We'll see how my body reacts to that. We'll see how we progressively overload. But yeah, I think I'm feeling good about that change. I don't know. Let's keep resting. I don't know if I like this angle. We're doing some cinematography here, mother. We're changing shit up. We're experimenting. We're trying new things, man. We're trying new things. We're always growing and evolving, man. Okay. Oh, this POV makes my arms like hella skinny, bro. Okay, whatever. Let's just fucking lift some weight, man. What are we doing? Waterloo by ABBA. Come on. Oop. Oh my god, man. Pausing? Holy shit, the pausing threw me off completely. Oh my god. Oh, the pause bench is not for the faint of heart. What was that, man? It's so much harder. I didn't think it'd be that much harder. Okay. Okay, well, the next machine I wanted to take is busy right now. So, I don't know what else to do. We could move on to biceps. Should we do some preacher curls, guys? What do we think, chat? Let's do some preacher curls. Fuck. Okay, because the machine's taken and the preacher's taken, I think we're gonna do a pump check instead. However, one thing you might notice... Bro, what the fuck was that accent? However, one thing you might notice is the lens is a little different now, okay? I brought 2 lenses to the gym today. We're doing too much, maybe. But this is my 16 to 35 millimeter lens, okay? It's my wide angle lens. And this one's my nifty 50, okay? It's a little baby. If you look at the size difference, it's a lot smaller, okay? It's a lot smaller than my other lens. However, I did bring this for a reason, okay? This focal length on this lens is 50 millimeter. 50 millimeter is the closest focal length that we have to the human eye, some say, okay? At least photographers and cinematographers say that. Now, when I do my posing and pump checks or whatever, I wanted to start doing it on the 50 millimeter. Firstly, actually, the only reason is because that one distorts my physique, but also just generally the environment. Because it is a wider angle lens, it has a lot of warp, especially on the edges. So if I put myself on the edge of the frame, it's going to make me look a lot bigger. And if I put myself in the center, it's going to make me look a lot smaller. However, the 50 is a lot flatter, which means this is more what my physique looks like. When I'm looking into that viewfinder and looking into the mirror, I see the exact same thing, okay? So here, I can give you a more realistic view of what my physique actually looks like, which I think is better, right? For you, because of transparency and stuff like that, and for me, because I'm not very good at being an angle merchant, okay? So I might actually look better on this camera. But yeah, let's do what I'm gonna do. This is gonna be cheeky as f. I'm gonna lift the Smith here. I'll put the microphone here, so it's still kind of close to my face. Might even put it higher. Ugh. Oh, this might be too high. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know how that looks. Whatever. Taking off these shirts is always so awkward because it's always so hot. Oh. Oh no, AirPod. Okay. Okay, this dude, the music is loud as a holy. My noise canceling software is gonna have. Oh my god, this is really heavy. My noise canceling software is gonna have a field day with this. But actually, let's lower the Smith all the way. But yeah, this is what the physique looks like currently. We are on a cut right now, somewhat of a cut. I'm doing a light cut, like 400 calories. But yeah, this is also pretty natural lighting. The lighting is not even that crazy. We have natural lighting coming from this side, but as you can tell, it's very soft. So nothing looks really crazy right now. But yeah, this is I guess what my physique looks like naturally. You have a pump, but it's on the chest. It's not much of a hump either way. Let's see if I can actually bring you closer from here, so you can have a better view. It actually might be better. Okay. Why is it not focusing on me? Hello. This is what. No, the lighting's ass here. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. I was about to not warm up on the preacher, but my bicep felt a little weird last time I did that, so I didn't think that was a good idea. Also, you might notice if you watched the last video. If you didn't, what are you doing? There might actually be a card on screen if future me remembers to put it. If not, I'm definitely gonna mention it at the end of the video. But last time the lighting was really bad. This time I thought, what if I just tilt the preacher a little bit? Now we have some beautiful natural lighting coming from our left side, almost at a 30-degree angle, which is exactly what good lighting is for talking cinema standard. Okay, I don't even know what that meant. Why am I waffling so much? Maybe I feel like something has to be said. I can't sit in silence and work out. Yeah, we're just gonna do our warm up super quick. This time I also picked up the 15s instead of the 22.5s from last time. And let's get a nice preacher curl set in. Now, I'm not gonna talk much about the preacher curls. Again, I already did that in the last video. So if you haven't watched it, make sure to check it out now. Okay, motherfucker, right after this one. But yeah, cute exercise. I love it. And let's go pick up the weight. I'm also thinking of PRing on this one again. I know the idea of scheduling a PR, like, what do you mean you're thinking about PRing? That doesn't make any sense. PR is just something you do. But when I say that, I mean, I feel it coming, okay? I don't know if you've ever felt this. You feel this tingle in your taint, okay? Right in between your ass crack and your balls. There's this tingling sensation. And every time you're close to hitting a PR, you feel it, man. And it starts there and it climbs up your back all the way up to your prefrontal cortex from the back, and then whoosh, poof, some Avatar shit, okay? I'm like the last airbender. My arrow is glowing, okay? Yeah, so I feel that coming now. I don't know if I should change the angle. I like this angle for the preacher, but it doesn't make me look big enough. So I think I'm gonna play around while I rest a little bit, and then we'll do our first set. I swear these turn up the music as soon as I got here, bro. Because when I got here, the music was not this loud. Okay, I don't know how my Adobe podcast AI noise removal tool is gonna deal with this, but hopefully well. I was watching some gym vlogs the other day, you know, scouting out the competition, and it turns out most people don't reduce the audio of the gym. A lot of people that I was watching, you just hear the weights like bang in the back. You can hear people like grunting and shit. Like the music is so loud, and other people just don't seem to care. I definitely care. I care a lot about my audio production. Too much. It might actually take up more time in my editing than the video production. But I don't know. It's strange. That's something I noticed. I'm just waffling now. Let's rest. Okay. Come on. Oh, that's an assisted rep. Oh, we're cooked. Fatigue. It's over. Oh, let's rest. Oh, right in front of the camera. Wow. Come on. I don't know why my left arm is stronger than my right. That makes no sense. Okay? That makes no sense. I'm right-handed, if you know what I mean. Okay? That makes no sense. I'm gonna lower the weight. That was 6 reps. We're going to back to 20. Should we go back to 20? Man, I don't know. I'm always so... the preachers are always so weird. I feel like it's hard to standardize your form on the preacher curl because of that whole shoulder coming up. So, I don't know. I don't know. I did 20 for 8 last time, bro. I think I should stick with 22. I'm gonna stick with 22. Time to rest. Oh, I'm also resting less now. I'm resting 2.5 minutes instead of the full 3. Simply because I'm gonna switch to the 20s. Simply because I want to do 3 sets, and if I'm doing 2 rest sessions and I'm taking 30 seconds out, that means I'm taking a whole minute from each exercise, which means I can do more volume in the same amount of time, baby. Which is all that a boy can ask. Oh my god, that's 10 reps. Holy cardio. Holy cardio, bro. What are we doing? It's 10 reps, bro. I'm sorry. Can we reflect on the fact that I just did 22.5 for how many was that? 5? And then I hop on the 20 and do 10? What the bro? What is happening? What the is happening, man? What the is happening, man? What the 10 reps? Holy cardio. Holy cardio. Bro, 8 to 15 for hypertrophy type and the big 2-5, man. Okay, that cannot be happening, okay? I'm not trying to do cardio here. Okay, I feel like I need a nap between the 2 sides now. Jesus. Okay, ooh, let's do this. Am I actually doing 20? What the bro? 9? 10? What the is how? I'm not even close to failure, bro. Holy what? What the are you doing? I'm getting the 22.5s again. What the fuck? I understand the allure of the winter arc. Okay, I understand. Let me put this on the dumbbell. I understand. I understand the allure of the winter arc. I understand wanting to go to the gym and be like broody and mysterious and I have my hoodie and nobody understands me. I'm pretty much Batman. Okay, I understand that allure. Okay, and I've been there. But I think that if you took yourself less seriously, I think you'd genuinely be happier in life. I think most people, it's some people do take themselves too seriously. Sorry, some people do not take themselves seriously enough. I do agree with that. But there's a lot of people that take themselves too seriously, especially at the gym, man. I understand that the gym is a place of comfort, a place of security, a place of refuge for a lot of individuals. And I totally understand needing a place like that, okay? And the gym to me is somewhat the same, kind of. Not to that extent, but it is a place of comfort for me. So I'm not trying to tell you how you should act and how comfortable you should be and what your comfort or your rest or your place of refuge should look like. All I'm saying is if you try, if you try to be more open, if you try to be more in a spring arc or a summer arc instead of a winter arc, you might be a happier individual. I'm not sure. And neither do you, right? Or neither are you. So I highly recommend at least trying that once and seeing what that was like. Because at least for me personally, I have gone through the winter arc and summer's so much nicer. And the spring is so much nicer. I'm honestly more of a spring guy than a summer guy. But I don't know, there's so much in life to be happy about. There's so much in life to be grateful for. And I feel like the longer we spend with our hoodies up and our faces down, the easier it is to miss all of the beauty that is around us. So try to take in some of that beauty. And if you don't feel like there's beauty around you, and if you don't feel like there's light around you, become that beauty, become that light, right? If you feel like there's only darkness around you, stop searching for the light and become the lighthouse or become the candle or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. There's a lot of beauty to be made on Earth. There's already a lot of beauty, but there's also a lot of beauty to be made on Earth. Our potential is limitless, And most of us only ever come close to seeing a fraction of that potential. So make sure you're not limiting your own happiness by thinking that it is safer in the dark. Or put yourself out of the comfort zone. I don't know. Let's let some wait. Why? What the f is happening? Bro, this is so stupid. That was 5 reps again. What is happening? Okay, so I'm starting to quickly realize that we're probably not going to have a car yap today coming back. So maybe I'll just record at home after my shit's charged. I'm not sure, but the battery is on 17% because, of course, as a hyper responsible and forward thinking man I am, I forgot to charge it at night and I was only able to charge it during lunch and it barely charged because I picked the worst socket in the house or something. I don't know. But, anyways, we're doing a different exercise now. We're doing some lat pull downs. Now, as you know, I've been a Kelso man myself for the past while, but something I did discuss in the previous video was starting to alternate between lats and upper back. So I've started to add a lot more upper back and specifically trap related movement, but I feel like this has led me to lack a little bit on the lats, not in volume wise, sorry, in volume, not in physique wise, but I have been giving my lats less attention. I don't want them to become suddenly a weak part of my body. So I've decided that one upper day I'll do I'll do Kelso shrugs and rear delt flies for my traps and my rear delts, and the next upper day I'm gonna do lats, simple as. Last time I did lats, I did a wide grip row. So this time I'm gonna do I did a wide grip pull down. This time I'm gonna do a closer grip pull down. Why? Because I want to. Is it more specifically hypertrophic for my upper lats or lower lats or whatever? Is it targeting the muscles that I want to target? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Listen, I'm a science-based lifter, okay? I don't want to call myself a non-science-based lifter, bro guy, because I'm not going to stick myself on the side of culture that is against science, okay? Not in the big 2-5. That's ridiculous, okay? I am pro-science. I am pro-experimenting, and I'm pro being optimal. But I'm also pro enjoying my workouts. And will using science help me enjoy my workouts more? Yeah, I'm gonna get stronger. I'm gonna feel happier about my physique, and I like being able to get more return for my investment. Am I going to start overthinking all the time? No, because that's not going to improve my experience. That's not going to improve my lifts. If I start thinking about every single muscle fiber, where am I recruiting a maximum amount of motor units here in this exercise, doing it in this way, I'm going to start tweaking a little bit, okay? I don't think I'm ever going to get to the point of doing those, what are they, lat extensions, I don't know. Those like hyper insane unilateral one joint exercises. I already do that for a bunch of stuff. Like I do that for lateral raises because I genuinely enjoy those movements. But I also enjoy a lat pull down, and I think that's okay. If you have an exercise and you're not sure if it's the most hyper optimal way you're doing that exercise, of course, if your technique is ass and if you're doing something you've never seen anyone else do, probably shouldn't do it. Okay? But if you're not sure if this is the most hyper optimal way to do your push and you want to do it a different way, hey, if you want, if you have time, and if you feel like it, research that a little bit. But if you don't care that much, it's not that big of a deal, okay? Do the exercise that you want to do. Do the exercise that makes you happy. If you find an exercise that's more optimal and you enjoy more, do it. If you find an exercise that's more optimal but you don't really enjoy it, don't force yourself to do it, okay? Do what's fun. Lift some fucking weight and you'll get big. Because at the end of the day, consistency is what matters. And enjoying is what matters. And even scientifically, if you don't enjoy an exercise that you're doing, your perceived exertion might even be higher, which means you're not even training that much to fail, close to failure, which means you're not even recruiting that many motor units. So even scientifically, doing an exercise that you don't want to do is probably less optimal than doing an exercise that's a little less puts less. Or the resistance curve doesn't match as well as doesn't match the biomechanical leverage of the muscle group as much, or like it doesn't recruit as many motor units or whatever biomechanically. It's better to do an exercise that you feel happy about. It. Whatever. I'm just yapping now. Let's lift some weights. I threw on 100 kg on the lat pull down. I don't know if that's too little. We'll see. Because generally the close grip is stronger than the wide grip. And I did this for a wide grip last time. I don't know. Let's put on the versa grips and lift some weight, baby. That was okay. That was 10 with like 1 or 2 RIR. So I think I'm gonna swap the 10s for 15s and do that instead. Because I feel like I could have lifted more. So we're gonna swap this 100 for 110, and I'll be back in a sec. Press pause. I don't know if we count that last one, but if we do count that last one, that was 10 reps again. I think that was, I don't know why the fuck I just did that. Yeah, that was 10 reps. I think we're just gonna unload this weight and go on to the next exercise because it's already 4:20. There's really a pattern starting to develop with these gym blocks. Always seem to be running out of time. Whatever. Okay, I'm gonna unload the machine and we'll go do some lateral raises. Okay, I did my shoulder warm up already. Got some water. We're gonna again do 2 sets of this. Then we're gonna do Okay, we have 20 minutes left. Can we do this plus tricep pushdowns? 2 lateral raises, 2 tricep pushdowns, and then maybe see if we can do some front delt work. And if not, okay, whatever. We tried our best, right? Maybe. Okay. Could have left a little earlier. Could have eaten a little earlier. There's stuff to improve, but yeah, whatever. No point complaining. Okay, we're already out of time. So let's rest some more and then do our raises. After doing only one set, this is what the delts look like. Again, I'm bending over to get that angle. Dude, I was telling you, the angle merchant shit is crazy. Man, people are getting some crazy fucking angles. I think this, I don't know what it's called. Fuck, I'm blanking. I don't know if it's the retaliation angle or something. I don't know what it's called, but it's that shit on TikTok where people like go hella close up. Camera's like angled down. Let me show you. This is what it looks like. Put on my timer first, chill. We're wasting so much time. It's like this. I can't do it because I have to hold the camera up. Wait. It's like they get really close and like a lat spread with like one of these. I don't know, bro. I don't know what it's called, but it's so silly, man. I think on one hand, the angle merchant looks cool because it's like you get to look bigger, and like ooh the lens distortion. Oh, you look so okay. It's not working for me, but you look so jacked. Like oh, it looks crazy. It looks freaky. It doesn't look natural. But on the other end, I don't know. That kind of feels like being a fake natty. Okay. Wait. Take a step back. That was a big accusation. Okay, let's let's think about why being a fake natty is bad, okay? Being a fake natty is bad, not because you're taking steroids, okay? That's not because there's people that aren't natural, and those people don't get that many critiques, right? Being a fake natty is bad because you're making other people feel like it's an attainable goal. Like, oh, I did this naturally, like, so can you. And I guess it's just the lying part of it. The first thing actually that I just realized is most people that do get a little freaky, even if they are natural, you're not going to get like that because of their genetics. Your genetics might actually be good. I think there's a lot of people with wasted genetics out there. But yeah, it is lying, but like the genetics that you have are also unattainable and people aren't going to attain that. But that's not even what matters, okay? Now we're going on tangents. Those angles are ridiculous, bro. Do you realize how not natty that shit looks? Like, it's insane how. Okay, I don't want to call people out specifically, but people like David Lade. Like, you look at David Lade naturally, like with a normal focal length and a normal thing that's like not him taking it, and he looks good. Like, it's a good physique, but it's not the physique that you see normally. That shit's fucking crazy, right? There's a big difference there. And I think that of course that difference comes from angles and knowing how to pose and lighting and all of those things, which are natural. Right now, I'm talking to you from like probably the worst setup possible. I'm standing right in the middle of a wide angle lens, right, which is making the rest of my body look more compressed. I look smaller. My head's near the center of the frame, which makes my head look bigger and the rest of my body even smaller. I'm standing full lighting right here, which means I have no details. It's like the most flat lighting possible. I'm standing in the most like natty lighting or natty conditions possible, right? And you'll see later, or you can see in other videos and stuff like that on my Instagram especially, that shit looks very different. Even months ago, I look bigger because of the lighting, the pump, the pose, the focal length of the lens, like the lens distortion. Like that shit is crazy. It matters so much. If you're a natty lifter, and you're trying to like look big and stuff like that, especially online or only online, I highly recommend you learn those things. Learn angles. Learn focal lengths, learn where to stand in a wide, like if I stand here on my wide angle lens, I look bigger than if I stand here. Can you tell? Can you see the difference of like how it's warping my body? Crazy. Or if I stand closer and I lean forward, look at that like shoulder to waist ratio. And look at that here. See, it's like whatever. Let's do my next step. Okay. Gonna do a silly warm up for my triceps. Okay. Oh, we need to rush. We're not gonna have time for the front presses. We have 10 minutes left. So we'll do 2 sets of tricep push downs, and then we'll do posing with a 50 millimeter lens on like decent lighting. Hopefully that should look good. So I think it's the first time that I'm actually posing with that lens. So I might look more natural. I might look softer. Okay. I'm not sure. Oh, why am I tripping about this shit? Doesn't matter. It's not that deep. Okay. Okay. Let's rest a little bit. PR, by the way. PR weight. Yeah, okay, my fucking ass PR weight. What the what the actual okay. I'm not even gonna do this side. What was that? Okay, hit some poses really quick. And front double by. Side chest. No, that's ass. Okay, some back shit. Arnold. See if I can improve the Arnold compared to last time. Oh, I think that is better. Should I from the other side? 2. Oh, whatever, I can't do that. Foot relaxed. I don't know, bro. I feel like we're looking pretty good. Ooh. I don't know what this pose is. It's not even a pose. I just do it because I'm silly. I don't know what other poses there are. That's about all of the ones I know. There's some of this. Tea kettle. Call them the pot black or something. I don't know what the fuck those poses are. Okay, whatever. We're done. Thank you for watching. I'll probably see you home. There's no time to record in the car. I'm gonna see you home. I'll see you in a second. Okay, we were talking about perspective shifts, shift reality. I didn't want to just sit here and talk, okay? Because I'm hungry as a just finished a workout, so I need to eat. And what better than a little bit of fiber cereal and some protein vanilla milk? If you can't control your environment, why are you going to let your environment affect you? I couldn't control my situation, but what I can control is how I react to the situation that I'm put in. So that was the first thing. Just a quick recap. The second thing, which is the one I didn't get to talk about, was my little rule. It's more of a heuristic, but we'll call it a rule just for the sake of the video, which is perspective shifts shift reality. In my mind, I was in a situation that was limiting my experience, that was limiting my fulfillment because I couldn't do other work that I wanted to do, or even do like something else that's more productive. I went to the gym a little later. I was a little stressed because of the amount of like chaos that was happening around me. You know, all of those things contributed to what I thought was a minimized experience. But then, of course, as soon as I got in my car, that switched, right? Now I was like, oh shit, I get to go to the gym. I get to record this video. Like, I'm so excited for all of this. So I went from having a very negative perspective, or having a very negative emotional situation, internal environment, to having a more positive one. And all that really changed was my environment, because everything else was the same. Actually, in retrospect, something else changed, and I think was a critical change, which was my perspective. So I started off with the classic, the grass is greener on the other side perspective. But after getting into the car, I got this grateful perspective. This perspective of, I get to go to the gym, I get to record this video, like this is really fun. My reality, my emotional reality, my happiness, my fulfillment changed. My reality shifted because my perspective shifted. And I guess that's the heart of this heuristic. It's easier to say, oh, my day's going so shit, whatever, the universe hates me, nothing's going right, than to say, I have a really negative perspective to what's happening right now, and I need to change that. I could have easily, in that situation, taken a step back, recognized that my environment isn't inherently negative. For example, imagine yourself as your 80 or 90 or 100 or, God bless, the 110, 120-year-old self going back in time and getting put into your body right now, right? Like, how would my 90-year-old self, which hopefully will still be able to like move and function, stuff like that, but how will that self feel if they gained the ability to, for just 10 minutes, be put in my body in this specific circumstance? What would my 90-year-old self feel if they were able to eat this fitness fiber cereal with protein without feeling so much pain from eating or whatever? If their teeth got, I don't know. How would my 80 or 90-year-old self feel that they have the ability to speak with such clarity to a camera that their parents bought them, who are still alive? That's crazy, right? Like, this might be a somber thought. Your loved ones will disappear. Right now, the people that you love will not be alive. So how lucky are you that you get to experience them, that you get to be in their presence, that you get to hold them now, you know? And again, a person could easily look at that statement and think, they're gonna die, like I'm gonna lose them eventually, that's so sad. But on the flip side, you can be grateful that you have them now, and also be grateful that you have someone that you love enough to be able to mourn. I think grief is such a beautiful thing because of that. It's easy to look at devastation and see someone absolutely heartbroken because someone that they could not picture living without has been torn from their life. You know, one day they were there and the next they weren't. That is devastating on the surface, but I think deep down, and I think if we switch our perspectives, if we shift our perspectives, it can be beautiful. One could even argue that grief is the purest form of love. Someone's physical body has stopped functioning. Someone's ego, someone's self has died, and yet a fragment of it still exists within you. And you cherish that so deeply that you're willing to put yourself through a negative emotional state to remember them. How lucky that you have someone to cry over. How lucky that you have someone to miss. Remember, this is all about perspectives. We're not changing the reality of what happened. This person is dead. Reality still exists objectively. It hasn't changed, but your perception of it has. And that ultimately, at the end of the day, is, I think, what matters the most. But this is definitely a skill that has to be practiced. It's not easy to be in a situation where you're being bombarded with an environment that you really don't want to be in, and being able to sit there and say, okay, I'm going to shift my perspective. I'm going to accept this. I'm going to love it. And I'm actually going to turn this into a positive, a growth experience for me. But there are really easy ways. Well, I guess it's never easy, but there are really simple ways to practice perspective shifting. For example, something I do is after a big meal and I'm super full and I'm laying on the couch and I'm going, just dying, okay? For me, absolutely KO'd, knocked out by that massive, massive meal. Something I like doing is thinking, it's like lifting my head up and going, wow, you know what? How grateful, how beautiful is it that I get to be stuffed, that I get to be absolutely full to the point where I'm almost throwing up. What a privilege it is to be able to reach such a state. Who am I to treat it as a hindrance to my experience and not a boost? At the end of the day, of course, there's always a balance. I feel like you do have to have negative moments. I try to perspective shift as much as I can, but it's okay to sometimes be angry. It's okay to sometimes be sad. And I feel like this whole self-help, self-improvement, growth sphere, whatever, is very quick to discount all of these. But let's not forget, without our pain, without our suffering, we wouldn't be the people we are today. These perspective shifts can quickly become disconnections to the environment. I don't want you to feel like you are losing out on life. I don't want you to feel disconnected from the environment. This whole perspective shift exercise or thought process isn't to disconnect you from your experiences. It's not for you to feel less. It's for you to feel more, but feel differently. It's to remember that everything you go through, every small battle you face, every obstacle you face is part of a greater life, is part of a greater experience. And I think you can do both. I think you can be grateful for a negative experience and still feel the full extent of that negativity. That's a lesson I want you to take away from this video. Perspective shifts shift reality. If you like this gym vlog, boy, do I have news for you. There are a bunch of other gym vlogs that you can watch. One of them is on the screen right now. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, be sure to check it out. Playlist will be in the description down below. And I love you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, baby.